Hey everybody, this is Billy West from Futurama. Hi, how you doing?
I hope you're doing lousy because I'm doing lousy. And I don't want anybody to be happy if I'm not happy. Now get me a sandwich with maggots on it.
Alright, this is Zeb Brannigan. You're listening to The Geek Show.
Hello and welcome to The Geek Show. We're making our first steps into being video. We used to be audio going back all the way to 2010. That makes me feel old. But now, we're on video, I am Rob, and
I am also Rob.
Rob. On the show in the last season, I think it's season 15, we did this bit, totally ripped off from Athletico Mince, by the way. I'm not making any bones about how much I ripped something off, where they took on a persona. So this week, I'm trying to remember any of them. Let's just say Violent Nigel. I don't know where that's coming from. Just a bit in my head that said Violent Nigel. So this week I was Violent Nigel and he'd be Rob. But with it being video and with us being clearly different people.
Yes.
Fill in the blanks yourself there.
Yes.
We don't need to do that. So just to keep it simple, I'm Rob. That's Rob. This is a video series on The Geek Show where we talk about science, tech, stuff, which makes us chuckle or is serious and there's real ramifications to stuff. But
yes.
Then we'll still try to be funny with it. Or
yeah.
fail to be funny with it.
Yes.
Either way.
Failure is always an option.
Especially when Rob and his dad jokes come in. And he's not even a dad, so I don't know where he's got these dad jokes from.
It's because I'm mid-40s and after you hit the age of 40, they just come naturally. It's just a thing. Okay. You look forward to it, all you kids. By the time you hit 40, it'll happen to you. That's not foreboding or anything, is it? Anyway.
Episode 1, you're all doomed and you're going old and grey. Get used to it now, kid. That's basically what he said.
You haven't seen our first take where he basically went off with the Barbarella stuff.
Yeah, Barbarella. Yeah, look up Barbarella.
No, don't.
I don't care. Right.
Anyway. Right. So, we're starting off this new decade with, and I don't know why I'm speaking like Boris Johnson, but we're starting off this new decade with an interesting article about the moon, that bright thing in the sky that isn't the sun, and you can only see it at night.
What's he doing? What's he talking about? Get on with it.
Right, okay. The European Space Agency is working with a few people from, I think, Glasgow University, and what they're doing is they're trying to simulate synthesizing oxygen from lunar regolith, from moon rocks, right? Now, this is a massive step forward in the whole idea of having, say, a lunar base or a place where people can live and work on the moon. And if they can actually set up a viable lunar base, then they can actually do all sorts of mining and possibly even start creating fuel on the moon, which means they could do ship construction in space using the moon as a potential dock.
The thing here is, though, on the science avenue, it's great because, we're screwing the planet up pretty damn good. So something which gives us the out is great, and this option to create oxygen out of moon dust or whatever it is doesn't sound like a drug ring at all. But yeah, it's great. On the other side of that equation, right, I've seen far too many sci-fi horror movies where things go horribly wrong in moon bases.
You're not on about that William Shatner movie, are you?
Well, that's Star Trek, Rob.
No. There was a William Shatner movie where he's on a base, and I think it's on the moon or Mars.
You're not thinking of Ghosts of Mars, are you?
No, it's definitely a William Shatner movie.
You're not thinking of, what was it called? Moon Nazis movie, which Iron Sky. I can't believe I'm referencing Iron Sky. Sky.
It's not Iron Sky either. This is from the height of Shatner's powers when he was not just Captain Kirk, but also T.J. Hooker. Everyone forgets about T.J. Hooker.
Yeah, it's interesting, but it's playing God sort of thing, isn't it? Moving to different planets.
Well, not really. I mean, I don't see how it's playing God because at the end of the day, mankind has always expanded the area that they live in, and the expansion
Different
is
planets. But it's not a planet, the moon, is it? It's a moon.
Well,
That's why it's called the moon.
You adapt and survive. It's that simple. And yeah, okay, we are screwing the planet, and so something needs to be done.
But the problem on that point, if we're screwing the planet, it's not going to be the poor people who like read out Earth and don't mess about with things and don't screw up planets that move to the moon. It's going to be the rich people. So they're going to screw up here, then they're going to screw up the moon, then they're going to screw up Mars. Just going to go through the galaxy screwing things up. You're all doomed.
Speaking of screwing up Mars,
I'm sorry it's taken a really bleak turn. It's just in the first, was it this takeoff, whatever take this is, you start talking about sort of getting old and turning into your own dad. That's a terrible idea.
Yeah, we're not going to go there. Anyway, speaking of some rich people screwing up Mars.
Elon Musk.
What gave it away? What could possibly give that away?
Because when he's not doing his boring company and he's saying, look at me, I've got a car lift. Look that up. It was basically an underground tunnel, I think, in Los Angeles.
He basically created his Musk cave. Which sounds like a 70s porn den.
No, it just sounds like somebody who's got really bad gas and they can't do it. The wife says, you can't do it here. Go in your Musk cave and have it in there. Into the cupboard where she farts in. That's what it sounds like.
Anyway.
He's been in the news a lot, hasn't he? He's been on TikTok, been dad dancing.
Yeah.
He's married to Grimes, I think, and he's made her pregnant.
Yeah. And who can forget the unforgettable? Do not go and listen to this, but his unforgettable rap that he released on SoundCloud in memory of Harambe.
Yeah, you know, there's a term in independent music and just music fans in general. They say SoundCloud rapper.
Yes.
He's basically been a running feature on the Geek Show for the past 3 years. Where what's he been up to this week?
Yeah,
between this and like the Robot Revolution and a few others, he's like one of the sort of tent poles of the show.
Tentpole, yes. Aside from his mum looking like an actual supervillain.
Look her up. He does.
I mean, see, Elon Musk has SpaceX and all these other things, and he's been tweeting out all these ideas about...
Keep them going.
Yeah, he's been tweeting out all these ideas about what he wants to do with, say, the Mars colonization. And it's interesting because... Mars eventually probably will be colonized. If they can create oxygen from lunar regolith, then...
Haven't they seen Total Recall?
Yeah, but here's the thing, right? Well, see, you're a lot closer than you think with where I'm going with this. See, what Elon Musk eventually wants is ships kind of going to and from Mars, carrying megatons of...
Isn't the problem that...
Food, equipment, everything like that.
The initial problem there is the amount of time it takes to actually travel there.
Yeah, see... This is the thing. He wants like shuttle runs. So he's going to have like 100 ships going to and from Mars during the time when Mars is closest to Earth. But here's the big problem. If you want to be a colonist on Mars, right, according to Elon Musk's method, then you basically can be, provided you...
Oh, yes, I've read this. It's like only rich people can apply. And if you're not rich... You're in a loan, and if you're in a loan, you're basically a Mars slave.
You're an indentured slave, yeah.
You're a Mars slave working under... Oh. He just basically wants to admit he wants to rule the universe.
And that's why when you mentioned Total Recall, I said you're a lot closer than you think.
Mind slaves in Total Recall?
What do you think most of the poor people were?
Mutants.
Yeah, and how did they become mutants? Because they had no money.
Through being rad, Rob.
Through being exposed to radiation and all sorts of other stuff. Moving on, Consumer Electronics Show. And as is tradition now with us, our first show of the year has to be CES.
Yeah, the big news from a gaming perspective is the PlayStation 5 as a logo.
Yes.
But that's not why we are interested in CES.
No.
Because it's nuts.
CES has, well, the thing is, amongst all the concept cars and the flying cars and the 5G laptops and
8K TVs, stuff like that. Like technology which doesn't actually mean anything to real people. Stuff which will be about £5,000 when it's released, and in about 15 years you'll be able to afford it. That's what CES tends to be.
Yes. But
if it does actually get released. I mean.
CES is also one of those places where it's interesting from, an ideas perspective. See, one of the nice things about CES is it's kind of a playground for the imagination, and people showcase what they want to do.
Well, you say that you're doing it in a very I can dream sort of way.
Yes.
What I'm talking about, I'm thinking about anyway, is when you think about inventors, you think about sort of, I don't know, time's gone by. You don't really think of now. But that CES is an event where inventors run rampant.
Yes, they do. And no one has run more rampant at CES than, well, see, here's the thing. Everyone talks about what Samsung's doing, or, there's all sorts of weird stuff, which we will get to some of it in a bit, right? So don't worry. But one particular company caught my eye at CES, right? And one particular company because of the potential for just how wrong things could go. And when I say how wrong things could go, I'm talking Skynet level wrong.
Oh, again.
Not again, but actual Skynet level wrong. We're talking like Ghost in the Shell level wrong, Skynet level wrong, that sort of thing.
Well, this is also a running theme in the show, New People. Yeah, the robot, what is it? What did we call it?
The Robot Revolution.
Oh, wow, I was really overthinking that. Robot Revolution.
Yes.
Yeah.
We are not yet hailing our new robot overlords, but
we are. One's a prime minister.
No, he's not. He's not a robot.
He's a broken one. It's Johnny Five of his 500 megabyte memory.
Here's the thing, right? There's a company called Neon, right? And they had a bit of hype before CES, and then they did a presentation at CES about their product, their only product, which is also called Neon. Right. Now, some of you out there may have heard of Neon, and it's not an artificial intelligence. It's not a smart assistant. It's not any of those things. It is allegedly, supposedly, and hopefully, they hope, if they can get the technology right and develop it in the right way, it is basically a virtual human. Yes, think Holly from Red Dwarf. Think Cortana from Halo.
Well, I don't know Halo. I've not played a Halo, but Holly from Red Dwarf, isn't that basically just an AI, but they've got like a human's face on a monitor?
No.
That's what it is.
After a certain point, right, all intelligence, regardless of whether it's artificial or natural, after a certain point, it will basically become self-aware. At that point, it's basically a living person. Self-awareness is one of the keys to life, basically. It's how you define what's not alive and what is alive. Whether that's why you have the phrase, I think, therefore I am. Yes, I know this is getting boring. Don't worry. We're getting to the good bit.
Yeah, I'm starting to look out the window now. That's how you know. I'm losing interest quick.
Yeah. So, here's the thing, right? They did a presentation where they had like 3 examples of Neon. One of them was an airline hostess, and one of them was, I don't know, a basketball player or something like that. But, and so they were basically controlling them, and the movements were very lifelike. It was like, you know those Hatsune Miku concerts that they did, where it's just projected as a projected hologram?
Oh, to sound less nerdy, Gorillas.
Did Gorillas do it as well?
Pretty sure, yeah.
I think Hatsune Miku's stuff was first, though, before Gorillas.
Yeah, but it's like a million times nerdier.
Potato, who cares? Anyway, you know what I'm on about, the projected hologram.
Okay. And I think they do that with a lot of dead musicians now. I think there's a Buddy Holly thing, which is touring, which also has sort of a projectile.
Yeah.
It's projectiles.
A projectile hologram is...
It's just a guy called Buddy and a guy called Holly projectile vomiting everywhere.
Is it Holly from Red Dwarf?
No.
But anyway, right. So, these virtual humans that they were showcasing were, they were... interesting in how lifelike their movements were. I mean, when they were speaking, there was a little, you could detect the artificialness of the voice patterns, but in general, it was a step towards an actual virtual human.
Is that what Fern Cotton is? She come from the future to destroy us?
Possibly.
Because
we don't know.
She almost looks human, but...
Yes, the vacant eyes of a documentarian.
Whoa!
Sorry, all you documentary makers out there.
You just threw an entire industry under the bus there.
Yes.
You son of a bitch. Right, go on.
But anyway, see, the virtual humanity thing is interesting because they're trying to move past the stage of artificial intelligence, thinking that things like Alexa and Google Assistant and stuff like that are artificial intelligences when...
Well, they are, but they can't understand accents, so...
No. I've got Alexa...
if there's a video out there which is just the Glaswegian or somebody in, like, deepest island who has, like, put up a video just trying to tackle Alexa, please direct me to it, because...
Sorry, when you say trying to tackle Alexa...
No, maybe worded
like
that badly.
A little Echo Dot, it's just basically a giant rugby player.
It's like a video where Boris Johnson tackled a small Japanese child.
Exactly.
No, what I mean is, I like to see technology fumble. So,
well, this is one of my main worries with this Neon stuff is that if they actually manage to get it right and they create a virtual human with thoughts and, more importantly, emotions.
When you say virtual, it's still just like an avatar on a screen, isn't it?
It's still just an avatar on the screen run by a computer, but the problem is it would have thoughts and, more importantly, emotions and also processing power and connection to the internet.
Is this basically what happened in that Johnny Depp movie? Where he died and then he became the internet?
See, this is the thing. That to me is a precursor to Ghost in the Shell, where your virtual human, where your virtual human can basically escape to the internet and then exist as data on the internet until it gathers enough, agglomerates enough data to become Skynet.
You are doing some mental gymnastics there.
Yeah, I know, but it's good, solid sci-fi.
Yeah, about 40 years ago.
Yeah. Moving on to more of what we encountered at CES. So, moving on to more of
what we looked up on the internet was.
Let me correct myself.
We didn't go to CES. They wouldn't invite us.
Eventually,
I'd be like a kid with like a toffee apple that wants to touch all the clean stuff. What wouldn't it mean?
No, you with your grubby little hands and your grubby little face.
What's that do?
But anyway, more from CES in the form of Impossible Meat. Now, you know Impossible Foods, who basically made the Impossible Beef.
He's explaining me this here.
They basically made meat from just protein strands. They didn't have any vegetables or anything like that.
I recall something like this in a previous life.
Well, they showcased their Impossible Pork. Admit it. You wanted to laugh at that name.
No, I just don't want to say it because I know I can't. It's a tongue twister.
Yes. So, yeah, they showcased their Impossible Pork, which is pork, not beef this time, made from protein strands and developed in a lab and soon to be in everyone's sandwiches.
At Subway, in those meatball marinara sandwiches, where is it real or is it marinara? Or is it veggie? Or is it protein strands?
Yes.
Or is it that guy that we found underneath the Subway, which we chopped up and cut into our sandwiches? That's why they call them Subway. That's probably slanderous.
That is slanderous. I think you mean Soylent Green.
Soylent Green, yeah. That one.
And if it was, oh God. I think there might actually be a colour called Subway Green.
Well, yeah, it's branding, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, there were other things. There were, as always, there were lots of robots at CES. A few of them actually, well, who would want a cheese scraping robot?
Not touching that.
See, do you know what a raclette is?
Sorry?
A raclette. It's like a French thing where they basically melt cheese. It's like, the Swiss do fondue and stuff like that. Well, somebody developed a robot just to scrape the melted cheese off the top of the raclette.
Is that like the episode of Rick and Morty where he gives sentience to the butter pat?
A little bit, yeah.
Oh, the toaster from Red Dwarf.
The toaster from Red Dwarf is more accurate.
Yeah. We've got all these ideas about the universe and the origin of the species, but also, would you like a slice of toast?
Yes. Toast. Toast is always good. But anyway,
Actually, I do want a slice of toast.
yeah, I'm the same.
Never a bad time for toast.
No.
This week's Geek Show has been brought to you by Toast. That's an advert. Yes.
So anyway, amongst the other robots that were on at CES, Charmin, the toilet paper company,
Yeah.
right, or Cushell. Is it Charmin or Cushell?
I don't really follow the trends of toilet paper.
Well, Charmin, I think, is the official name of the company. But I think here in the UK, they call them Cushells, and they're marketed by koalas now rather than bears. Even though the whole idea of Charmin using bears was because of the joke, does a bear poo in the woods? But we're not getting into the marketing side. Charmin have invented their own robot, which will deliver a fresh roll of toilet paper to you.
I'm just filling in the blanks of if that used to be their advertising campaign. Just bears crapping in the woods. That's classy stuff.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And the thing is, it's one of those things that you don't think about until you run out of toilet paper. You're like, damn it, why has no one invented a toilet paper delivery robot?
Because it's a waste of robots. There you go, that's why. Because I'm of the belief that robots should be cool. There you go. I don't want to explain it. That's it. I'm not like deaf machines or anything, just interesting.
Yes.
Cool. And delivering toilet paper, that's why Brexit happened.
It was a hard Brexit, was it?
No, yeah, you have that joke, I have me on.
Anyway. There were a few other things, though. You know how everybody's into this smart luggage thing? And how they're trying to robot.
No.
Well, it's one of those things that I've seen happening a lot. They're trying to develop these smart luggages which link up to your phone using Bluetooth and then follow you around.
Is this one of these sort of things that is wallifying? Hang on, there's a word there I'm trying to say. Wall-ifying the world.
No, we'll get to that. We'll get to that. That will be the final thing that I'll talk about. We'll get to that. But this whole idea of smart luggage is basically where the luggage basically follows you around. It tracks your phone and follows you around at the airport. So you remember K9 from Doctor Who?
I mean, that's solid. It's solid science. But at the same time, why are people so lazy?
Well, I'm
not sugarcoating it. Why are people so lazy?
Oh no, there was a company at CES who showcased this sort of technology, but then took it one step further and turned it into a ride for children.
Oh, I guess I'm sort of running away with my own imagination here. This is why the Flintstone had dinosaurs like, doing stuff for you.
Yes.
But I mean, just replacing... no, I'm getting that. I don't know. CES is just a confusing time.
It is a very confusing time. Which brings me on to this whole idea of wall-ifying the world.
There's got to be a better way of phrasing that, but you know what I mean. In Wall-E, the last act when it introduced humans, they were all sort of gigantically overweight people who floated around in these sort of air cushion things.
Yeah, floating chairs.
Where they didn't have to eat, they were just sort of intravenously fed.
Everything was served to them in a cup where they didn't have to chew. But the floating chairs part I want to focus on specifically.
perplexed by the pompous, ponderous piffle purveyed by normal art critics? Well, you've come to the right place, because we're not normal. We take a not-so-serious look at the serious worlds of art and literature. Join Sarah, Andrew, Rob and Graham for a piffle-free journey through the cultural landscape of the 21st century. Literary loitering. Because you can't make a cultural omelette without smashing a few eggheads.
Unsure if your Spider-Man is amazing or spectacular? Infinitely confused by Crisis on Infinite Earths? Or does the mere thought of X-Men continuity make you tremble? Then 4Panel is the podcast for you. Join me, Andrew, and my co-host Robin Mick as we guide you through the weird and wild world of comics. We'll talk about the secret origins of your favourite characters, delve into the craziest events of comics past, and review the hottest new graphic novels that you might have missed. That's 4Panel, a part of the Geek Show Podcast Network, available wherever podcasts are found.
You know that thing that replaced walking for a lot of people? And I don't mean moving from one topic to another seamlessly. I'm on about the two-wheel invention that
everybody spells wrong.
That everyone spells wrong. Yeah. Well, Segway came up with a new mode of laziness.
I don't think they invented laziness, Rob.
No, this is technological laziness taken to the next level. See, you know how the original Segway, right? You moved around on two wheels, but you were standing.
Yeah, it was like, this is the thing, wheels there, you
Yes.
leaned, and it went, oh, love of this.
Yes.
Good display there. I could just use images from the internet, but I use my fingers. That
Now,
is the future.
imagine they've taken it to the next level, but what could that next level be?
A chair that does the same.
Yes.
Oh, good guess.
And so,
that would really, there's that chair which Americans seem to have like a fascination with, the lazy boy.
yes.
I know they have it in England, but it's nowhere near as common as it is in America. But there's a chair which would truly earn the moniker lazy boy.
Yes.
Yeah, because
I mean, you know how, see, this is where I find it, I find it a little bit unnerving, this whole push for automating the whole concept of walking and sitting and
you know what I
stuff
really
like that.
hate about this though?
What?
Once upon a time, it used to be the guy in the office or wherever you were saying, oh, I'm going for a run this weekend. Says, hey, you're going for a run. What are you? Healthy. And now technology is going in such a way where I'm sympathizing with the runners. What are you doing to me, technology?
I mean, the thing is,
Mick, who's part of us, he goes on a 100k walk. You're making me want to do that more than actually get one of these chairs. You are monsters at Technology World.
see, I want to know why. Why make a chair with that basically is the sitting down version of a Segway when there are already things like that available?
This is how Daleks happen.
No, this is how Wall-E happens.
Well, yeah. Basically. Let's just concede defeat and it's a little bit of column A and a little bit of column B.
Okay. But yeah,
But it's heinous, frankly. I don't use that word, but it's just ridiculously lazy and I don't approve. I'm going to be a disappointed uncle to the tech industry now.
see, do you remember the Sinclair C5?
No, but the footage of playing over this will.
All right, the Sinclair C5 was this little electric sitting down bike scooter type thing.
Was that the one with the door that opened on the front?
No. Sinclair C5 was, it didn't have a roof.
What was the one I'm thinking of then?
You're thinking of something else. I can't.
Oh, and the Citroen 2CV.
No, 2CV was that four-door French thing that could go over fields.
I thought it was one where the door opened on the front. It was like a little bubble thing.
No, that's something else. That might be a Citroen, but it's something else.
Not important.
Anyway.
Not the right show for that.
Yes. Anyway, the Sinclair C5 at least didn't just have like the electric bike mode. You could actually pedal on it as well.
That's tempting.
But with the Segway, with this new Segway, my word, looking at it, it looks very futuristic and very technological and everything like that, but so lazy. It's the kind of thing, you know, when you have a company president who wants to show off just how much of a company president he is,
It's like you got a company president, but you think, oh crap, he's dead. We better put him in this chair to make sure he's alive. and you do that.
Yes.
And it keeps him right, stern. Oh. He's dead. he dead.
Oh, God. It's like the corporate version of Weekend at Bernie's.
Yeah. There we go. We've got the episode for this week. Corporate version of Weekend at Bernie's.
Oh, right. Okay.
There's probably more current examples of that. I don't know where the whole plot revolves around, oh God, this person's dead. We better make sure they look alive. Comment below. I'm sure there is one, but I can't think of it.
And if not, someone should make a game of it.
No.
How long can you pretend this person's alive until people
That would
realise
actually
they're
make
dead?
a really fun game, wouldn't it?
Exactly.
You've got to sort of pretend this person's alive and make it look like they're alive.
Yeah. But the thing is...
Make that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The thing is, you don't control the body internally. You can only control it externally, and you can only, like, mimic the voice badly.
It could be a cool VR game.
Yes.
Where you use like a series of sticks and pulleys to make sure the person looks like they're really alive. There you go. I'm a games designer now.
On that note, I think it's a good point to end.
Yes, it is. Thank you for watching. Please do bear with us. This was the first episode. We're ironing out the kinks. We are. Yeah, we're figuring it out. So just bear with us. But thank you for sticking with us. We appreciate your time. Comment below, adding to anything that we said, whether it was the good stuff or the bad stuff, or what you think of the new stories in particular. But whatever you do, just please get involved with the Geek Show. Please click subscribe. Please click like. And thank you for spending this time with us. We'll see you next time.
Toodaloo.